lifted off the foundation, and it's just crumbling in the rapid and the violent waters here.
Today marks 32 years since that iconic moment from the Great Flood of '93, when that farmhouse near Columbia, Illinois, was swept away by the Mississippi River floodwaters on live television. The family evacuated just before the levee broke, but everything was lost. Joining me now is our photographer who was there to shoot some very iconic moments, the one and only Mighty Joe Young. And Joe, take me back to '93. What do you remember?
You know, it was a strange summer because weather here was beautiful, and it just got in a rainy pattern up north, and every day the river would just rise more and more, and got to the point that weekend on Friday night, the Monarch levee burst out in Chesterfield Valley, and then on Sunday morning, the Columbia Bottoms levee burst.
Now, back in those days, television was covered differently. You were hanging out of a helicopter to get that shot. How dramatic of a time was that for you?
Well, it sounds dramatic, but that's really how we did it back then, so it wasn't really that big a deal. But we were up flying all morning long and just stumbled kind of upon that levee breaking, and then it just continued. You could really see the force of the water. I think that's the one thing that stood out. Not your typical flood where it just kind of comes up, but this was hitting that house dead on, and you knew it couldn't last long. But it was really kind of sad too, because you look at the farmhouse, you wonder how many generations of the Gumesheimers had lived there and farmed that land, and then it's gone in a matter of hours.
How devastated was St. Louis in general? Because I know the Chesterfield Valley, you go down to Annie Gunn's, and there's a mark on the wall as to just how high the water rose that day. How devastated was St. Louis at that time?
Well, I think the devastating part was areas flooded that had never flooded before. You know, typically that summer, the areas that normally flood, they were getting hit pretty hard, but they get hit hard, you know, almost yearly. But then once the levees started breaking, I think people felt like, you know, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, like this was it.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that was pointed out to us was that you had to be awakened in order to get that shot. Is that right? That you had fallen asleep in the helicopter?
No, I'm not aware of
well,
that.
that's what someone told me, that you had to be waken up for that.
Well, you think I'd fall asleep with the door off on a helicopter?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I went, there's no way Joe's sleeping on a helicopter with the door wide open, but maybe you did. I don't know. These are some early hours.
Yes, we were flying all morning long.
Yeah.
But I assure you, I did not fall asleep.
Okay, well, thank you. That's why you're here with us today. Last one for you on all of this. How is the family doing? Are they still in the area, do you know?
You know, a few years back, we went and talked to them, but I'm not sure. I think they live kind of in the Columbia, Waterloo area, and I'm sure there's generations that are still down there, but I haven't been in contact with them.
Okay. It's amazing to see that video to this day, too, and it was that long ago.
Yeah, it really is. Just the sheer force of the water was just amazing that morning.
Piece of history.
No doubt.
Thank you, Joe. You can watch our Great Flood of '93 special on demand on our 5+ streaming app right now. You can download the app for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, or Amazon TV.